comfortable for you? They could just stand like this the whole time.
Actually, I may be a little.
Less comfortable?
I feel. I'm a little aroused.
Oh, hey there.
Denim porn. Well, Victor hit me up and was saying, "Hey, this is random, but I'm going to Japan. Do you want to go?" And I was two hours later about to take, and he's like, "Damn, I didn't think you were really gonna do it."
It was almost like, can I uninvite you?
Yeah.
I didn't expect you to come.
All right, I'm out.
Well, see ya. Well, I love to travel, and Japan's one of my favorite places to visit for the food, culture, and of course the denim.
Totally, the catalyst for me coming is this guy right here for sure. Yeah, like
You've been wanting to come for a while.
I've been wanting to come my whole life for sure, and it's one of those things that you always go, "Oh, one day I'll do it," and that one day I'm like, today.
I mean, for you, it's almost like a homecoming, right? Because you're part Japanese. It's
yeah, it's a half homecoming. I'm half Japanese, half Irish, so my Japanese side is like, let's do this.
I'm an engineer by trade, but I also love to travel, and so I have some travel side businesses along the way. And this account is a way for me to put all the things together, to meet cool people, to share the passion of denim, and also to see the world. And yeah, it's a really fun thing to bring together. But so about me, I love to travel, love to eat, denim, photography, and so that's what kind of embodies the account, is to bring that back into a personal project to share with everyone.
I'm an actor by day, and that's pretty much what I do. That's what I started off. I moved to LA to make music, and about 5 years ago shifted into acting, and that's really what I do. And by night, denim head; by day, an actor.
For me, it started with finding clothes that fit me. Back in the 80s and 90s, it was actually pretty difficult to find the right cuts, and I would go to the department store and find something and it's like, this doesn't look right. Being an Asian in America, so it wasn't until I got a chance to I did some research online and found things like Super Future, Style Forum, kind of the original days. And from there, it was a big rabbit hole down the raw denim market, just being able to see how cool the fades are. Basically, that over time represents the story of your life and what you put into it. And so it became really fascinating to find right cut, really cool fabrics, and just kind of the whole story and stuff that goes together.
For me, it started, I was in probably 3rd grade. Went to school, and there was this new kid that came in, I don't know if he was Chinese or Japanese, but he was an Asian kid, and he had like this is like in the 80s, so like, he had a Walkman, he had some Levi's cuffed up, some Chuck Taylors, a black tee, and he didn't talk to nobody. And he was just like, I was like, and he had a digital watch, and I'd never seen a person wear a kid wear a watch, and I was like, that was like the coolest kid I ever seen. I'm like, he had this tape, he was in the Beastie Boys, and I'm like, who is the Beastie Boys? What is this watch? What are those? What's going on with this kid? And from then, that was kind of like the sneak peek for me. Kind of growing up, moving forward, as a teenager, I was a skateboarder, and I used to shop at the Army surplus store all the time. So I would get one pair, probably cargo pants or some, Army surplus, and one shirt, and I'd rock that for 6 months or so until it was about to fall apart. And that moment right before it evaporated into thin air was so comfortable, so just perfect. And I think denim is even another next level of that kind of evolution and honoring kind of your clothing, and so that's where it started for me.
PBJ is one of my favorite brands with a really cool texture and stuff, but as well, for me, I think still one of the first pairs is APC, and their PS fit is still to this day probably one of my favorites. Where the rise is about the same, but pretty much under the knee it gets a lot more tapered. So that's a pretty flattering look without having to be uncomfortable on top. So you can size accordingly that way. That would be pretty amazing to have a cut like that with the quality and construction that Japanese denim offers.
Like you said, I have like around probably 70 pairs.
But it's a problem, not necessarily.
It's not something I'm proud of, but it's definitely just what it is. So I haven't found my perfect pair yet, to be honest. I'm still looking. The hunt is still on. I have a couple of pairs that I really like that are top contenders, you know. So one of them, I really like the Japan Blue. I like the high tapered cut. This is the Godzilla, the JB0626s. Some of the, you know, I feel like they definitely could. This pair, I really love the cut. I really love the fabric. It's probably the slubbiest weft fabric I've come across, at least in my collection. And the color of the warp is definitely interesting. You can't really see it, but once you bring it out into the sunlight, there's like this huge, the kind of like, I don't know, it's like definitely like an interesting, distinct color to it. I love the Indigo Man patch. They could use, this pair could use more details, I think, like the raised belt loops, the raised back pocket openings. They could use tuck belt loops.
But you're talking about different price points here.
Yeah, I mean, that's another reason why I haven't found my favorite pair. It's literally for the value. It's probably one of the best pairs in my collection, and one of my favorites. And my other favorite is PBJ KS13s. The fabric is probably one of the best fabrics I have in my collection. The details are pretty much all there. What I would definitely like to see in pretty much PBJ put out is even more tapered cut. Something that's similar in the top block and in the thigh area, but something that tapers a little bit more drastically from the knee down. If this pair had that, this probably would be my favorite pair. And I'd like to see tuck belt loops. But everything, I mean, this is like one of the closest pairs to my favorite in my collection, I think, for sure.